So Celeb Secrets is hanging out with Jay Webb today. Jay, what's going on? How are
What's
you?
up? I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, great. I feel like I'm still kind of recovering from CMA Fest though. That was a wild week.
Oh, dude, it was wild for me too. We got rained out, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
And did you get to do anything else? I know that's such a terrible that you guys got rained out.
I know we were so bummed. My mom came up from out of town, and I had family and stuff too. So we were like, no, the whole band. We were all just waiting, and then it was like, no, it's done. And then it wasn't even raining when we were supposed to play. So we were like, dang, dude. But yeah, I got to hop on my buddy's set at another bar, so it was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
still a
was
bummer.
gonna, I was gonna say, I hope you had some drinks. I hope you got to see some of your friends. I feel like our readers and our viewers this is kind of the first time that they're getting to know you here, at least at Celeb Secrets. So for people that haven't heard of you yet, who is Jay Webb and how do you describe yourself as an artist?
So I'm definitely, I would say, a country artist from Alabama. I like to bend genres and do things that are a little outside of the box and different. When I was growing up, I listened to a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. And all of us like country dudes from the middle of nowhere were always listening to that. And I was like, it'd be really cool if we kind of like mixed the two and just had it to where you can have both in one. So that's what I try to do. Grew up in Alabama until I was 25, I think, before I had my first song take off on TikTok. And after a long, hard run, finally had something go and just been going at it ever since.
Yeah, yeah. It's got like those country roots and like southern hip hop influences, and I feel like maybe even trap beats as well. If your sound were a recipe, what would be the three main ingredients?
Do they have to be food or are they like,
Anything.
man, I would put some middle finger in there. Gotta have that. I don't
Gotta
think
have
it'd be
it.
my sound without it. Gotta have some southern, I feel like southern roots, I would say, like some,
Okay.
got to throw back to the hometown and like where I'm from a little bit.
Okay.
And it's almost gotta be like I would say just melody, like catchy melodies, Love
Yeah.
that. Those three things, you put those together and you get your boy.
We love that. And I feel like you've been writing and producing for a while now. How do you think self-producing early shaped the artist that you are now?
I think I was able to really like create something that was totally me. Like I didn't have to rely on somebody else to do it. So it was like it wasn't necessarily to the level it is now as far as quality, but I was able to say, here's exactly what I want this to sound like. Now how can we make it better? So I think doing that also just allowed me to release a lot of music. I put out 300 songs before I had one do anything. So yeah, it allowed me to really show exactly what I was shooting for and take it from there.
Yeah, yeah. And like you were mentioning, Southern Girl really popped off on TikTok. Looking back, what surprised you most about how fans connected with that song?
I just didn't expect, it was the first country song I ever made. So I'd made 300 rap songs and none of them did anything. And I was like kind of insane for doing that because I was like, dude, you'd think at like 150, you'd be like, maybe this ain't the thing. And I was just looking around and I was like, dude, I'm in the country doing bonfires, doing like yard work and everything for my grandma. I'm like, this is my life every day. Looking around, I'm like, I'm not even talking about any of this. So Southern Girl was like, it connected with the people. I feel like that wanted that beat, wanted that kind of bump to the music, but also were just living that country life too. So that really surprised me that was the one that went after all the other stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Like over 100 songs. What kind of motivated you to keep doing this where you're like, I'm just not giving up. I'm gonna do it until something happens.
I don't know. It was a God thing to me. I was like, I just felt like it's what I should be doing. And I
Yeah.
was like, everybody thought I was crazy. And I was like, I feel like, you can't, it's hard to listen to something that doesn't sound great, like the
Yeah.
stuff I was doing back then and just support it. But I had a couple of people, I have my wife, and my mom, they always supported me no matter what. So it was kind of encouraging to keep going. And I just believed, man, I believed that God had a bigger plan for it all.
Yeah, totally. And kind of looking ahead, you have a song coming out on Friday. It's called One More Shot, the next single. You need to give me the inside scoop. What can we expect from it?
Yeah, man. One More Shot is like it might be my favorite song that we've ever wrote.
Yeah.
I wrote it with my buddy Eddie, just digging deep on like, alcoholism. I've gotten better over the last few months, drinking a lot less, dialing it back. I'm by no means sober, but the song is about just just that next day, like whenever you need that last little that next little drop to keep you going. And it was times where I was waking up and like shaking after drinking all night for the last 6 days or however long, and it's like the only thing that kind of fixes that is another drink. And so that's where one more shot comes in and just kind of dives deep with that. And I was a little iffy on it, but I played it for a few people that kind of have similar problems, that I was dealing with at the time, and they were like, "Nah, man, you got to put this out." So it's stripped, it's acoustic, it's raw, and it's probably the realest thing I've ever wrote.
Oh, that's amazing. And I feel like so many people relate to that one way or another. So I feel like you had to put this song out, not only for yourself, but for your fans.
I think so. Yeah. Felt right.
And how does this kind of set the tone for maybe a new album or a project or any kind of like string of songs that you're going to be releasing this summer?
Yeah, we got an album ready to come out soon. Like really soon, hopefully. And it really sets the tone. It is probably the most raw song on the album. It's definitely stripped, it's acoustic. We got a lot of bangers on the album, but I feel like it sets the tone of just a new chapter, a new page. We've elevated everything, production, lyrics, everything on this album is my favorite music I've ever put out. And I just can't wait for people to hear it. I want to know what they think so bad.
You openly share your faith in your music and even on stage. How do you balance being authentic about your faith while still keeping the music accessible to everyone?
Yeah, I think I just don't hide anything. I think people get it in their head, that like, oh, faith means church means judging anybody that's not perfect, and that's just not the reality. So I just keep it real. I cuss, I drink, I smoke, and I also have a very, very close relationship with God. So, I don't like to hide things. I like to keep it real, and I'm not in church every Sunday. Half the time I'm coming back from a tour or a leg of the tour, but I am in talks with God every day. So.
That's amazing. And I feel like 28 Homes Before Adulthood is literally a country song title in itself.
It needs to be. Yeah.
If you had to write a book for that chapter of your life, what would it sound like?
That chapter of my life is probably, I'll say the 28 homes was not, the 27 homes that me and my mom lived in when she was a single mom was not the rough part. I never noticed that. We were moving. I didn't know what having money felt like, so it never felt like we didn't have money. She always made sure that we had food on the table and stuff, but it was the 28th home was the one that really wrecked everything. That's the dark chapter. I had an abusive stepdad, and we both made it through the other side of that now, so we're good to go. But I feel like for me and her both, that was the worst chapter of our life, and I pull so much inspiration from that now. And motivation. Just, he would tell me, you're never going to make it. You can't sound like this and do this and all this stuff every day. And I feel like it just pushed me so much just to be like, let me prove this dude wrong and get my mom out of this situation.
We are Celeb Secrets, so do you maybe have like a secret or fun fact or maybe even hidden talent about you that people wouldn't know just by, following you on TikTok or listening to your songs?
Nobody would ever guess that until I was 21 years old, I swore that I would never get a tattoo at all. I was like anti-tattoo until I was 21. And I know
look at all your tattoos.
I know. But I swore, I was like, never will I get a tattoo. Like, it's the devil, it's awful, like all these things. And I was so against it. Got my first tattoo on my finger.
Do they have special meanings, or it's just kind of what you're feeling in the moment?
Yeah, I think some of them are what I'm feeling in the moment. Like, there's no reason that I have this dagger going through a heart right here. But every other one, I would say, has a special meaning. This is Jesus on my shoulder. I've got Johnny Cash on this one. This is who got me into music.
Yeah.
My wife's birthday right here. I've got my grandmother on my neck. She passed last October. Everything has a meaning to me. Yeah.
But what about the ones on your face, though?
So on my face, I wanted to do, the idea behind that was that if somebody judges me for face tattoos, I wanted it to be like a lesson learned for them. Like, so I've made them all faith-based. So I've got God's greatest gifts. I've got faith down here, love right here. Then I've got a cross right here, so that maybe from a distance they wouldn't know, but if they start talking to me, I'm like, yeah, actually, these are God's greatest gifts, and I just want to be an image of Him. And so I still got to get hope, faith, hope, and love. But yeah, and then I've got a little music note with a wing. It just represents that I want to be doing music forever, even after this life. So.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That's a really cool story. I like that.